Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 2v2 Amateur League here for Halo Wars 2. In the blue color, this is ConqLoup, we'll refer to him as. And we've got his buddy, ConqLoup. Together they're ConqLoup. And they're playing as Forge and Colony. And the flags are wrong, great. On the other side of the map, we've got Doggy. And we've got Smirk. Together they're SmirkingDog. And they're playing as Shipmaster and Arbiter. Now I'll throw in the follow cam and fix those flags, yeah? I do apologize. They seem to be working on the team level here. I'm not sure what has happened. Why does ConqLoup get the Canada flag? That doesn't right. Yeah, this is good. Okay, the Amateur League is all about the newer players, the lower level players getting a tryout here basically for our tournament system. You know, there's not a lot of interest in this, unfortunately, as it has turned out recently. And so what we're going to be doing is we'll basically be cutting them out a little bit going forward. Focus a little bit more on Pro League and Rising Star, of course. We've tried to do everything this year, right? So we did all the free skill levels, Pro, Rising Star, and Amateur. And we've done 1v1 and 2v2 for each format. And I think it's just too much. We're spreading ourselves too thin, unfortunately. Good suicide grunt used there by Smirk, by the way. This mini-based deal is an absolute pain in the butt for Team Blue. But what does amateur mean? Where do we classify that? Free MMR is about the limit. So we basically look at the players' profiles, and if they're much over free MMR, we don't let them in. Now today we made an exception and allowed some people in at like 3.3 or something like that. That's alright. You can check yourself at halowarshub.com. Of course, if you want to join our tournaments, that's meta-place.com. Link for that, and our schedule should be in the description. If you find this later, just search around on the home pages. Because we typically pin the tournaments there. Next one is going to be a Pro tournament. Smirk with the second generator has another raid camp back home for defense. And Doggy has the double mini, so that's going to be great for spamming ghosts. Already got a good amount here. If you keep using them intelligently, you can definitely chip away at the choppers and just keep coming back every now and then. But 6 grenade marines aren't that scary, really. It's the combination of the two armies here that's too much. So I don't like the ghost actually going into this. Now, unless we're going to get, of course, a stasis mine explosion on the whole group, but that didn't happen. The ghosts do have to retreat. Whose amateur seems to get views, certainly not on Twitch. So the big problem with not getting views is that the sponsorships we get are tied to Twitch view count, right? And if there's, I think in the last Amateur League there were 30 average viewers, so that means that our rates are basically getting slashed in half compared to Pro League, which is not great. So that means that we're ending up not being able to pay for Pro League with sponsorships because this tournament slashes our rates. So it's just not economical from our side. And we don't get enough signups. That's the other thing. And the players that do sign up, they're over the limit, so I have to remove them manually. Appreciate the questions in the chat, of course. Yeah, we've got to move them up to Rising Star. They can still play there. There's no reason they couldn't. Unless they don't want to. That's another story. Good to see everyone expanding, by the way, roughly on time and hitting tier 2 as well. Hunter Capitano's coming out. We're gonna have a little bit of Marauder support. Marauders are a little bit underrated of a unit, actually. Bombas didn't end up landing very well, but still, so many Marines do end up thinning out the ghost count significantly. I think ConqLoup is gonna get that base up after all. No worries. Tier 2 upgrades coming through there as well for Doggy. Yeah, everyone's pretty well set up. Smirk should absolutely populate that base with buildings real quick. Freaking Enforcer sniping the mini, that's not bad. Ghosts managed to dodge some of the grenades, but there's just so many, it's difficult to get it all done. And Combat Tech makes it just a solid group against Scout play. Now, especially if they get the Forge to support and Nightingales, that would be even better. We got a very sneaky Mexican generator out here by Loop, but I'm a little bit worried for it because you're playing against an Arbiter, and at some point there's going to be an Enforcer drop to take that kind of stuff out. Now, of course, on the other side there's a Goliath drop, so, you know, that same kind of potential exists here. But the base for now is defended. Unless, of course, the Capitano can take it out. It's a good idea to get him into the garrison as well, if you can, but easier said than done when there's so many units here to protect. Got a very early heal. It will keep the Marauder alive. For now, it looks like Capitano is strong enough to just survive off of the siphoning. The biggest problem is this is done alone, right? But on the other side, ConqLoup is attacking Smirk's base and he's doing great. I think he might actually take this out. There's plenty of Hellbringers here. I would love to see Dispersion nozzles upgraded for them, actually, but there's just so many Marines. It's too many Marines, I would say. Warthog is coming out. Maybe we'll see some Kodiaks or Warthogs. And Smirk was just completely out of position. He needed to worry about his own base, honestly. Doggy was gonna get the shield up anyhow. The Capitano is rather slow. Plus engineer support typically keeps these bases up anyway, right? So it was just unfortunate for Smirk that he didn't have that covered on his side with engineers. Anyway, he's gonna be shielding up the main, but what now? Dislodging the Capitano from the garrison is gonna be some difficult work. Oh, the Kodiak's on the high ground. That's smart. Yeah. Nobody can really shoot it. Well, the engineers can spot and then the hunters can shoot, but there's only one hunter, so it will really take some time. Barely does any damage. Looks like the Marines got plasma bolted a little bit, but they managed. They survive a little bit anyway. Bombs landing, but there's very few units to actually hit. Looks like the Warthog will be destroyed if it's not moved. Gotta do a little bit of pullback micro there. There are a significant amount of engineers here, so this is not going to go down anytime soon. The elites rather are sniping the Marines pretty good. Another Goliath drop, but right into the Rangers. This is not going to work. You just have to, you know, celebrate the fact that the Capitano is 1 star, and I bet he'll keep going too. But of course, Steve over there has something to say about all these vehicles. It'll be very difficult to take out. On the other hand, I don't think Chad is strong enough to take out the Capitano from the garrison whatsoever. So Team Blue should be able to just keep pumping and pretty much do whatever they want. We should also see perhaps a Vulture transition here from ConqLoup. Maybe a few more Kodiaks wouldn't be the worst idea. These are finally going to be overwhelmed. Looks like Smirk is coming in with the Banshees of all things. Ready to go tier 3 as well. Has the base rebuilt. As it hasn't been kept down by ConqLoup. Locust? What? What are you doing here? That's odd. Alright, let's see if that's enough units now to deal with Capitano. There's engineers as well, so it won't be easy. In fact, the health bar isn't even moving. That's crazy, dude. Okay, everyone go in tier 3, yeah? Loop has it. ConqLoup has it. Smirk didn't click. I think he's upgrade. He's making some rangers and hunters and stuff. But meanwhile, there's already a lot of raves coming. It's a 2-star Capitano. Capitano never die. Pretty sure that's how it works. Got a Reaver in there too, so eventually that will take out the engineers. Yeah, especially if Loop ends up calling in the big drop. It really looks like it's settled. Nothing can kill the captain. Guys, I think we have a game. The bombas are dropping in. Also, Smirk and Doggy just getting absolutely overwhelmed. Even the spirit got destroyed from the drop. Unicorns managed to make it out, but the heat-seeking missiles find them. And we've got Grizzlies. Okay. The base breaking potential is through the roof here. It might not be vultures, but it's close enough. The switch will be happening also. But ConqLoup just doesn't have quite enough production, in my opinion. You would need at least 2 air pads to really make this happen. But maybe he can steal the base and put it there. Displacement buys some time. But, I mean, the guys can just walk back up, it's fine. We're just playing for time at this point. This game has been put away. With the destruction of that base with this massive, massive tank army. Just main it down. Yep. Well done, Team Blue. GG. Well played. That was not the grand finals, by the way. I had the tax wrong the whole time. I'm glad nobody told me about it, but it's just the winner semis. Alright. We'll have it for next time. Welcome to Fishers for game number 2. We've got ConqLoup in the blue and his buddy Loop in the teal. What the hell is that extractor first business? That is risky. ConqLoup is not Italian, by the way, but still getting the flag for some reason. I think I know why. Okay, that should be fixed now. On the other side, we've got Doggy and we've got Smirk. There's also some fighting in the middle. This team is... Whoa. Why are we getting these guys again? But it's fixed now. Confirmation. And we've got SmirkingDog as Jerome and Vortis. So Vortis is going to be very interesting here with the middle mini-base situation. The Amateur League does allow for combat spoils to happen, but it's not being used by Smirk. He's dropping in the Warrior's goo mine instead. And there is some free power to pick up. Looks like ConqLoup will be finding it. Has a Jackrabbit as well, interestingly. It's usually just a double marine opener for UNSC here. That's also an extremely early armory. I'm not sure I'm a huge fan because he won't have the supplies to actually make both the hero and the last building. So I'm really not sure what happened here. Could have been the last building, and it would line up nicely. As for ConqLoup, there's gonna be Pavium early on. Oh, I know what this is. ConqLoup spoke to me about this. I think he believes that the Johnson Pavium bunker rush with the 2 heroes is actually going to be advantageous in the amateur league because people aren't just, they're just not going to expect it, right? And they might not have the numbers to actually take it out. But it's a little bit slow, it's a little bit inefficient. You could have more units if the hero was the last thing you make in this base. Either way, it's gonna be out. There's gonna be some Marines with it. There's gonna be money for the bunker. It might work. But it really depends on how the other team reacts. They're gonna have a Commander Jerome. They're gonna have engineers, well, infused engineers anyway. The situation is gonna be made a little bit more complicated with all those things. And they have both of the middle minis. So what are they actually going to rush with this? Is it gonna be the middle minis? It's gonna be brutes as well. They can technically use that to stun the units within, and then you make suicide grunts that also stuns them. We have Paviums coming up. And that should keep the bunker alive for a long, long time. But who knows, maybe these guys are cooking. I sure know the neighbor is because the extractor fan actually brings it across to my place. If it smells good, it must be onions. That's the other rule. If it smells bad, it's probably some kind of meat product that I don't like. Usually lamb. Can't stand it. Yeah, definitely onions. Anyways, Smirk might be losing that mini, but meanwhile, the main is under attack. The infused engineer will be helping the brute, so a single grunt most certainly isn't taking that out, but the engineer is another story. That is, however, an unupgraded extractor, and I don't like the positioning of it, to be honest, because it's not going to be hit by burnouts, whereas those harvesters are. So if you swap out that harvester that I'm hovering over right now, I think that's a better result, because then you can burn out the front ones. Although long term, it is better if you can do these rear ones anyway. So the way you can do that is you make this one an extractor as well, and then you can have 5 extractors in the back later for massive burnouts. Anyways, the bunker rush has semi-succeeded, but now the heroes are potentially going to get taken down. There's a heal beacon, which could of course be destroyed fairly easily. Highly recommend doing that when you can. But for now, the 2 heroes stay up, and the bunker actually will be protecting the power node for now. The guys can capture this one too, and then blue team has an advantage already. But Smirk is going tier 2. Doggy is getting his second generator, and we've got side base for both players. Let's see if they can hold it. This is gonna be a Vorageous hero. It might be a little bit easier. I think that's a little ways off. Doggy is pumping the Bringers of Hell. And if they're buffed by Jerome's aura, they're actually no joke for sure. And your units are just 15% better. That's insane. Grenadier will clean up the grunts, no doubt. But with Team Blue capturing the middle minis, that's a pretty big deal. I mean, you know, ConqLoup will still need this side base, that's for sure. Like, that needs to happen. He's very, very slow to it. He has the resources right now. So, I guess we could see a third generator and, like, an upgrade building for the hero. Those would be good moves, but you can still get a base. Nonetheless, it's just gonna be a pad. We're not spending our resources there. We are gonna get the forward garage, so I guess we are gonna spend the resources eventually. It's just, you know, more resources, more better. The bunker is still getting some work done. And I'm not sure the other team knows about suicide ground stunning. Well, we got mobile bunkers as well. The limousine has arrived. Pavium can get in whenever he likes. It's a good idea to stick snipers into this, actually. But Hellbringers would do. I think that would be fine. 2 limousines now. Or more Mastodons getting produced by Doggy. But it's really important they hold this base. There's no engineer bubbles with warriors, so it's a little bit harder than with some. Mine seems to be ready to detonate there. Takes the infantry down, but never the limousines. Those are OP. I will have you know. Hey, Smirk holds. I'm not sure if he did a fortification upgrade there, by the way. Oh my god. They're healing the limousines. Limousine never die. But limousine also never kill by itself. You need some filling. Add some sauce to your limousines. Well, the base has been bought on the other side. That's good. Doggy has a ridiculous amount of Mastodons. If there were some Cyclopes in there, that could be pretty useful. Yes, indeed, that's a correct plural. Cyclopes. More bunkerinos. Are limousines or Mastodons better? Definitely limousines, because they have the healing, the life leeching beam. So even by themselves, they are actually a little bit threatening. Mastodons have a joke of an MG on them. It's not very effective at all. Plus, engineers make this a whole lot better too. Smirk has resigned. He can't hold it. You see, with the reverse, the engineers just weren't going to happen anymore, and they're going to give up. It's fair enough. I mean, there was really no way to hold that base, as far as I'm concerned. Plus, with the 10-minute mark coming up, Lich might be in play. I definitely think Team Blue has deserved this little victory for themselves. It's just the best of 3, so it's already over. But we are a double elimination format here. So Team SmirkingDog has a second shot through the losers round. Definitely limousines are the better ones still, guys. And just look how healthy they are as well. That and the tier 2 banished army is arguably a little bit stronger with the counter units. Probably also has more economy, so you can make more. But that's a really solid 2-0. Congrats to Team ConqLoup. We want to thank our website patrons. This is by far the best way to support MetaPlays. Your contribution helps keep the project sustainable and allows us to produce more and better content. If you aren't yet a patron, check out our link in the description and get in touch to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.